5 losses in a row, and what happened the previous night as well, just for like a relief for you right now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, I'll actually have maybe a nice sleep. As coaches, we don't get any sleep till we win another game. It just wears on you. But yeah, it was a good response. I mean, you look at all the things where we had a real tough turnover. Obviously, going to Dallas and back, getting home real late last night. We played some guys on extended minutes. All those things, and LA was sitting here waiting for us. So they look fresher early. They grind you out. They get a lot of big forwards, and they get some guys that really can work you in your defensive zone. And I think we did a pretty good job, sort of managing as best we could. And then I thought as the game went on, we just got stronger and stronger, which usually works the other way when you're the tired team. But we showed a lot of character, and especially at the end when they scored real late there, and we responded right back with a goal. But guys stepped up. You talk about your leadership. Guys like Fisher, I thought Yossi and Weber were phenomenal against the Kopitar line. They were a handful. And then the leg one line got that assignment tonight with them. And then I thought the Fisher, Hornquist, Wilson line was really good for us. But so was the Cullen line. I think you look through the lineup, the first 3 lines, and those were really, I thought, were real solid for us all night.
Doesn't it give you obviously a chance to win tonight?
Yeah.
With the saves you needed?
Yeah, I think he made some timely saves when he needed to, and he was calm back there. And from our standpoint, there was a combination of solid goaltending, desperate competitive team going against a fresh, veteran team. I think I was looking at LA's record, coming into this. I think they were like 16-4-3 in the last 23 games. So, they've been going pretty good. You go through that page in the media notes, and all I see is W's straight down. They've had a pretty good run, and they've got a good hockey team. So it's been they tested us, and we responded tonight, which is good.
You talked about getting better as the game went on. How much easier was that by the fact that you actually had the lead for a time?
Well, it probably felt different. Maybe I shouldn't say that, because in the Boston game, in the Montreal game, we got better and better as that game went on. Obviously the Boston one, we hit a little roadblock when we took the penalties, but we were getting better and better. And having the lead today was a different feeling. It's so more relaxed on the bench, from probably a player standpoint to a coach's standpoint. You've got a little bit of wiggle room. The other way, when you're down a goal or 2 or 3, there's no wiggle room. So it's the constant pressure and all that. So it was a little different than it has been in the last 4 or 5 games.
Nice to get some offensive contributions from Fisher, especially that last minute from him, the 2 goals.
Yeah, it was a great play. If you really look at it closely, Wilson, to give him a lot of credit, he went down the wall really hard, took it deep, and you get people start turning, get their back turned a little bit, and Fish, he put it in a spot where Fish jumped around. I think it was, I want to say Richards, probably the centerman at that point. And he really reached around and did a really good job, but and then he obviously got it over Scriven. So it was a great response, because we had the game. I thought we should be able to lock that down, and we didn't. And it was a great response. So we've had a lot of responses to go through in the last 5 games. So I thought we deserved to win the game today, and I'm glad we got it done in regulation.
You guys snapped a losing streak earlier when you played Chicago, and you snapped a losing streak win against LA. What is it about this team that you guys come out against some very, very tough teams and play?
Well, I think we're not. We've had a year where we play the way we can at the competitive level that we're capable of, and our top players are our top players. We play with enough structure in our game where we can play with the best teams in the league, and we can sometimes do a really good job against. You look at some of our wins are the top echelon teams all right through. So we just need a little more consistency, and it starts and have been critical of goaltending, and critical of different aspects of our game. But when we play a very I'll say, just real strong game without any creases in it. We can play with anybody, and that's where the consistency level has to come in. Some of it is the other team forcing you to be a little inconsistent. Some of it is some of our, I'll say some of our youth, some of our level of play at certain areas and certain positions, and that all affects how you go through the water. So, today we had real good focus. We had a good game plan going in. Guys were in, and we stayed with the game plan. And, we stayed with the game plan for 60 minutes. And there's always a way to win a game. And too many times we allowed teams to we actually give them the game and just with our play. I don't think we gave them the game today. We took it away from them, actually.
Like or dislike, Hendricks makes a big hit early, it's a clean hit, everything. Then he has to fight for, as a result of it. Does that bother you? I mean, it's not like it was a dirty play, was it?
No, it doesn't bother me. I mean, that's part of a little bit of the game. I mean, one of their Hendo hit one of their guys pretty hard, and one of their guys came to his aid. All right. There's other times when I would say that even today we had a couple guys that were hit pretty hard that were a little questionable. Maybe once in a while we'll have one of our guys come to their aid. That's been a little bit of a question mark for us last year. That was a big question because we wouldn't do that. This year we're capable of doing that. So that's part of having trusting your teammates and supporting your teammates.
The effect of that may be better than say in Montreal when you're down 3-0, he's fighting just to try to get something going.
Yeah, different effects on it. I mean, there's different times. I mean, Matt Hendricks went in and finished a clean hit. And they came back and said, hey, you're not going to hit one of our guys. And Matt Hendricks says, yeah, I am. And he stood up for himself. And there's nothing wrong with that. That shows that you're there to fight. And I'd say that they're there to compete. It's probably a better word. I'm there to compete, and you're not going to get me off my game. So that's how that's part of the game within the game.
Muzzin gets a bit of a high hit on Seth Jones. Were you okay with that being a minor? Did you think it could have warranted more of a?
I'm going to let the league sees everything, and I can have my opinion. It really doesn't matter, as I said last time. The league will look at it. I mean, they showed us the winning goal, and sent it right after the game. It's in our office. It's not we pulled it up. They sent it to us. I'm sure they sent it to LA Kings, and as well as any hits. They probably have tonight. There's probably 10 games going on. They'll probably have 30 clips they'll look at, and I'm pretty sure the one on Seth Jones will be looked at, and the NHL will rule appropriate if there's any more action to be taken.
Let's talk about the play of Matthias Ekholm. These guys been in and out of the lineup. How do you think he's responded to that?
Well, I thought he was pretty good today. I mean, you look at that Jones and Eck. Coming into the season, they had a combined total of 4 games NHL experience. I'm guessing. And goaltenders had 1, so we're a little bit young in those areas, but they're responding pretty well.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.